Hello beautiful singers, this is Valerie White-Williams and Vocal Splendor Studios, and today I would like to talk to you about diction, specifically diction for English. Now when we talk about the word diction when it comes to singing, it's how do we pronounce the words. Now for those singers that are singing in a foreign language, that would actually include singing the language correctly and using the correct sounds. But in English, we're also talking about the correct sounds, but English has extra challenges. In the opera world, believe it or not, English is considered one of the most difficult languages to sing well in, and even for native speakers. So I'm going to go through really quickly some of the concepts on why English is difficult and just kind of give you an overview about some of the challenges for English. First of all, English is what I consider a mutt language, and I absolutely do not mean anything bad about that. You think of the dogs, sometimes the combination animals are the absolute best and they have the strongest immune system. So with English is actually a Germanic-based language, which is related to German and the other Germanic-based languages like Dutch and the Scandinavian languages. But because of the British Isles and the evolution of English, a lot of French and Italian words were also kind of interplayed within the language, and oftentimes those Italian and French words are pronounced slightly different, and those are the words that are often the most difficult to spell because all the rules of English, supposed rules, don't apply. And there's so many other languages, some Native American words where I live, that have become part of the English language, and those become very difficult to define what the exact vowel is. Now, speaking of vowels and languages, some of the languages like French, Spanish, Italian, and even languages like Japanese are what we have open vowel languages, where all the language is basically a bunch of open vowels combinations. Namasaki, Yamaha, Japanese. Italian has a very smooth flowing, like the very first Italian songs. Many of the old school Italian voice teachers and even American voice teachers start in Italian because all the vowels are open. My first Italian song was Caro mio ben. Caro mio ben. So we have a much easier legato flow when you only have a vowel and a consonant combination without closing down. And just like Spanish, besame mucho, besame, besame mucho. Much easier to get a flow when we're not dealing with all the consonants. So that is why those languages is much easier to sound smooth. English is full of pitfalls that can make you sound clumsy even if you are a good singer. So more about the English, defining those true vowels. Sometimes that's a bit of a mystery. I had a student who was singing the word fastened, and she was a songwriter, and the word fastened was in her song. She was going to fasten something to another thing. So as she's singing it, we realized that it was not sounding right. Come to find that she's singing fastened because there's an E in the word. Even though she wrote the lyrics, and as she visualized the word, as she memorized it, she saw that E and she was mouthing that eh. But the word is fastened. There's an eh. The vowel is truly eh and not eh. So although it sounds petty, those mixed messages as far as the vowel and how we're shaping the vowel can completely make our singing sound wonky and clumsy. Now on top of it, to make it even more confusing, sometimes the vowels are much easier. Like I had a student today who sang the word grew, G-R-E-W, which is the oo vowel. And the problem with grew, even though it is a pure vowel and easy to find, he was in the upper voice, and you can't really sing an oo vowel up in your high voice. So in that instance, we need to modify to grow. So we got the drop in the jaw. And then if we're singing rock or pop or metal, sometimes we're going to modify to this E face. And so we have to modify to some kind of contortion of the original vowel to get the sound to sound authentic in the range. So it gets really complicated quickly, as you can see. And I'm not even done yet. Besides the vowels, we have sometimes what we call combination vowels, and we call these diphthongs. A diphthong is a vowel sound that changes. And again, you can't always use your eyes to spot the diphthongs. Like in Italian, there's a lot of diphthongs in Italian, like io and mio, but you will see the I and the O, which will tell you it's mio and io. Where in English, we have the word boy and joy. And the word is joy, joy. So what happens when we sing those words, we get twangy, joy. Our mouth wants to go to the end of the diphthong. So if we're holding a word out for a long time, we need to more definitely identify that clear vowel and stay on that clear vowel for a long period and not let it decay or alter, which gives us a muddy, strange sound. So that's a diphthong. Additionally, we have problems with the R's and the L's. R's cause our tongue to bunch up, the cowboy or pirate sound, and the L's. So holding a word out with an R and an L that ends with it or is an internal can cause a muddy, garbled sound. And so a lot of singers learn to avoid or sing those R's and L's very lightly in order to get a smoother sound. And then the last thing that is a challenge for English is we have a lot of what we call double consonants. Even me saying double consonants, where we have two consonant sounds right next to each other. So oftentimes what happens is we tend to smush them together and it's hard to identify and be clear what it exactly is. So learning to enunciate with the tip of the tongue, as one of my voice teachers would say, is really crystal clear. And it doesn't matter whether you're singing pop or rock, because yes, we have street pronunciation and we have more formal classical pronunciation, and we need to identify that as well. So those are the basic building blocks of diction in English that applies to every genre that you sing. And I will go on and I will actually go into the specifics of each of these details, but you got a head start 6 minutes into the video. It took me all that time to say it, and I hope this helps. And once again, I want to thank you all for all the support in my channel, and I appreciate all your mails. Please keep them coming. Thank you so much. Bye.